following program brought to you by the Grill Master. Welcome to the show, Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master. This is my backyard, and I am the Grill Master. Today's featured sponsor, Farmland Pork, found exclusively at United. You know that, I know that. That's all the Grill Master uses is the Farmland Pork. They have great cuts of meat, and they always have great meaty ribs. I'll tell you what, can't beat them. Anyway, on today's show, we're gonna be doing a pork chop, a tropical grill pork chop with a nice mango salsa that's cooked, you'll see. And I'm going to be doing a macaroni and corn casserole on the grill, and then we've got a nice pork tenderloin salad to go with all of that, and then we're going to be doing a cool drink. That's all I'm saying, so you have to wait on that one. But to start off with, on our tropical grill pork chops, I've got a pestle here, and I've taken 1 clove of garlic and minced it up. Then I'm going to take a teaspoon of chili powder, put it in there, and then I'm going to take a quarter teaspoon, excuse me, of cayenne pepper. Maybe a little bit more. I like spicy. And then it asks for cardamom seeds. It's a flavor that comes from India. But a good substitute for it is cinnamon. So I'm going to take a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon, put it in there. Then I'm going to take a couple of drops of water, put them in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to be mashing this here together to make a nice little paste. Those cardamom seeds, they don't, for one thing, it's kind of on the high end of the dollar spectrum, but you know, like I said, cinnamon is a good substitute. And those cardamom seeds are kind of hard to find here. You can find some ground cardamom. I mean, if you would like, you can get that. It's not a problem. You know, it would be a half a teaspoon of that if you do get that. But anyway, it's a nice little paste, and then we're gonna set that aside. Alright, so I've got my cast iron skillet here. I put about a tablespoon of olive oil in there, and now we're going to take our paste that we made earlier in our pestle. I'm going to put it in here and let it come to a little sizzling there, let it get hot and get to a little sizzling. Then we're going to stir it just for a little bit. Then we're going to take some of this rice wine vinegar. We're going to put in about 1/3 of a cup to half a cup, something like that, and then we're going to cook that for a couple of minutes. And once we get that done, we're going to take half a cup of sugar, throw it in there, and we let it dissolve. Now when we do that rice wine vinegar, don't let it boil, just let it be warm and let it cook for a little bit. Then once we add that sugar, then we'll let it dissolve. And so what I've done, let that get a little warm there, and then what I've done is I've taken 1 large mango, I peeled it and I seeded it, and then I cut it up, and I've taken about a teaspoon or so of cilantro and chopped it. I took 1 serrano pepper and chopped it up, and I took 3 pineapple rings and I cut them up into chunks. So we get this, see how it's already starting to sizzle here, getting warm. Yeah, doesn't take long, just a little bit like that. Now we get this rice wine vinegar, and like I said, we're gonna add, I'd say about 1/4 of a cup maybe. A couple of ounces or so, and then just let it get warm there with in the pan. About a couple of minutes or so. So I better get my bigger spoon here. Yeah. Now once we get this salsa made, we're gonna refrigerate it, let it cool down, and then we're gonna marinate our pork chops in a little bit of it. So I've already made some earlier. I made a little batch, and so I could get that marinade done. But you're gonna take this, some soy sauce, and and some more of this rice wine vinegar, and that's what we're gonna marinate the pork chops in, just for about an hour or so in the refrigerator. It's not an overnight thing or anything like that. So so that's about ready. So we're gonna add the sugar in here. Like I said, this is about half a cup. I'm going to stir it till that sugar melts or dissolves or whatever you want to call it. So that sweet and spicy is going to make it, give it a tropical flavor. Also, once we get our pork chops marinated and we get them out of the refrigerator, you'll take that marinade and you cook it and get I got another little my little saucepan, and put that marinade in there and cook it. And when you throw those pork chops on the grill, you baste them with that marinade. But you got to make sure you cook it really well, so because it was in raw meat, it might have maybe some bacteria or something starting to build or whatever. But once you cook it, then all that'll die off. It won't be a problem. But get this baby here, like I said, just for that sugar to melt, and then we'll take our take our lemons, squeeze that juice in there, about a tablespoon or so. That's what that is. It's about one medium to large, about one medium lemon, sliced in half and just squeezed in there. That's about all we need. Then we're going to take our cilantro and put it in there. And our serrano, put that in there. And our mango. And we're going to let this cook just a little bit. And maybe about 5 minutes or so, that mango will get nice and soft. It's going to be really tender. And then once that's done, then we're going to add the pineapple and the rice vinegar and some unsweetened applesauce. The unsweetened applesauce, you can, this right here ain't gonna work. It's a little too mushy. We want to make sure we have the mango there in chunks. So we'll mix this together and let it cook till they get nice and tender. Alright, so you can tell our mango is pretty well done with our sauce here. It's thickening up a little bit, but that's not a problem. That's what it should be doing. You take a pinch of salt in here or two, season it. Then we're going to take our pineapple that we've chunked up, 3 rings. We're going to put it in there. Then we're going to take a cup and a half of unsweetened applesauce. About that much. Then we're going to get this stirred up. Let it cook for just a bit. And then once this is done, like I said, we're going to take a pinch of ground white pepper to season it with also, but not until it's done. And then we'll stir it in, and we'll take it out, put it in a bowl, cover it up, sit in our refrigerator, let it cool down. Now, once it's cooled down, then you can you'll take some of this, about a third of a cup of this, and you're gonna take a third of a cup of soy sauce and a third of a cup of that rice wine vinegar, and put it in a plastic bag, put your pork chops in there, and you put them in the refrigerator for an hour, and they should be ready. Yeah. And we'll just take a pinch of this white pepper, which I'm just gonna put a little dash there. And we'll just get this mixed, and then we'll be done. Alright, to marinate the pork chops, we'll take a plastic bag here, and we'll take our pork chops, about 5 or 6, something like that. Something to that effect. And then we'll take a third of a cup of that mango salsa that we made, that we've cooled down. And we're going to take a third of a cup of rice wine vinegar. And then we're going to take a third of a cup of soy sauce. And then we'll seal these in the bag, and we'll toss it over so all them chops can get all those flavors in there. Just like that. It's not hard. Then we'll just pop open that little corner here, and we'll push that air out, seal it, throw it in the refrigerator about an hour, and then we'll get them on the grill. Tell you what, these are gonna be delicioso. Smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision. Alright folks, just a note, I took a pork tenderloin, a peppercorn pork tenderloin. It already comes pre-marinated right there. Just go see Billy and the crew down there at 502, and I got it all right there. Just tell them the grill master sent you, and then you just get that pork loin that's in a peppercorn marinade. And I got that, and I already took it out, put it on the grill, started cooking it, because that's going to be for our salad. So just to let you know, that's what's been going on. But for right now, we're going to do our grilled cheesy macaroni and corn. And all you do is just buy you pills and cheese, and just put them in a pan, casserole dish, whatever you want to call it. And then take this cheese mix here, pour it all in there. And then we're going to take 1 can of whole kernel corn, of course Food Club brand, just like that, United brand. And we're just going to put these all over, just kind of spread it out like that. You know, don't let it bunch up too much. You know, they do, just kind of take your lid and just spread it out like that. Then we're going to take a can of cream corn, just kind of go around the edges first, and then the rest you can just put right there in the middle, just like that. Then we're going to take a 1/4 cup of milk and just kind of go over it. Then we're going to take a couple of tablespoons of butter and just slice it thinly, and just put pats of them, you know, here and there, whatever, so they add up to a couple of tablespoons. You know, they don't have to be exact or whatever, but just set them out there, top of there. And then once we get this done, We'll season it with some salt and pepper. That's it. Just throw it on the grill and be ready to go. Alright, so now we're going to get our pork loin salad ready. And first we're going to make our salad dressing. What we're going to do is we're going to take some sour cream here. This whole package right here. Then we're going to take some thick and chunky salsa. We're going to take our little strainer. I don't know how old this thing is, but I know that my mom used it and she gave it to me 29 years ago when I left home. So it's pretty old. But anyway, I'm going to try to get some of this juice out of this thick and chunky salsa here, just to kind of because we're going to use that here in a minute. We're going to reserve that. We're going to take this first and mix it in with our sour cream, and then those juices there, we'll start adding them back in there to thin it out, and then the consistency that you want is when you'll stop. And I don't know, this, we might not get too much juices, I don't know, but either way, we're going to try here. I know they're there, and I'm not getting all of them out, but you know, there's just kind of work it there a little bit, and you know, again, whatever juices don't get out, you know, stay in there, that's okay. I mean, they're gonna go back in there anyway, and you know, if the consistency you get is enough, then you won't have to use these drain juices. So and it's gonna take a little bit. You know, you just kind of because remember, this is a dressing for a salad, so you're going to be pouring it over some other vegetable ingredients. But another thing we want to add is a little bit of cilantro, about a tablespoonful. And again, this is just me. You know, I like it spicy, so I've taken half a serrano pepper and I've diced it up real good, and we're gonna put this in there. I know that salsa also, you know, it's just a mild salsa, so but you know, again, you just look for your consistency, whatever you'd like. If you like it a little thick, that's fine. You know, I'd like it a little thinner. I think that's enough of the salsa base, but you know, again, we got a little bit of juices here. It won't take much to thin it out with those juices, so just like I said, it's just whatever your desire is fine. I think that looks pretty good right there. For my taste, my flavor, then we're gonna take our lime juice. Maybe we can start with half a lime. You know, again, this is just for consistency basis. You can start with your lime juice in there first. It's not a problem. And then you'll add on your salsa and your juices like that. But you know, I've done this before, so I kind of knew what I was looking for in my consistency, and that pretty much right there is what I'm looking for. You can see it'll come off that spoon really nice, and then you know, of course the chunkiness is just an added feature there that helps me. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Now we're just gonna cover this, put it in the refrigerator, and our pork loin is almost done, so but until then we'll get this covered up, and we'll put it in the refrigerator, and then we'll get our salad together. Alright, now for our salad base, Just got some shredded lettuce. Now you can use a spring mix, you know, just whatever your preference is. I don't know, to me this is good enough. Then we take some purple cabbage and we'll add some of that in there, and then we'll just kind of mix it to give it a little color. Depends how many guests you're gonna be serving and how much you know, that's why on that salad dressing, you know, just make some. The good thing is you can, you know, refrigerate it and use it the next day or two. And so maybe a little bit more lettuce, and then what we'll do is we're going to take a little bit of salt and season this. Give it a good toss. Then what I've done is I've taken some tomatoes, sliced it up, just layer them just like that. And then I've taken some avocados, and what I did was I cut them in half and I pitted them, and I took my knife and I slit them this way, just to, you just get your fork in there very carefully, easy, and just kind of dig around it there towards the bottom on the one side, then on the other, and they should just slide right out. And then just separate them and just layer them. It's lime juice. Just half of one would be fine. Then I've taken some radishes and sliced them, and you can just layer them on there a little bit, just like that. Kind of around, because what we're going to do with that pork loin is we're going to slice it, and then we'll just layer it on top there. And then after you do that, then you can take some of the radishes and kind of decorate it on the side, or whatever your preference is. And there you go. So we're going to check on that tenderloin. We're going to check. We've gotten our pork chops out. You know, remember we took that marinade and we went ahead and we cooked it well. And as they were cooking, those pork chops were cooking, we started basting them with that. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to check on that. I bet they're ready. We'll be ready to go. So here's the big drink I was talking about. It's a grilled lemonade. That's right, grilled lemonade. It's not that hard. All we've done is taken about a dozen or so lemons, small. We've cut them in half. We got some sugar here, and what we're gonna do is just dip them like that, and then just set them on the grill. Now, these right here won't take long. Once that sugar starts caramelizing, you gotta watch it, because if not, they'll start burning. So once we get this done, we'll take them off, put them over there and let them set and cool for a little bit. While we're doing that, we're gonna make a little syrup, and then that's what's gonna go. That's our base for our lemonade. That's what we're gonna put in our pitcher, and then we'll add the lemon juice, and then we'll add the, some water till it's flavored right. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited. All right, so you can tell, see how our lemons, see how they got all toasted, caramelized with that sugar. And remember, the concept is, you know, when you get a lemon, you want it to get juicy, you put it in that microwave for a few seconds. Well, the same concept here, you know, it's on the grill, so they're gonna get real juicy. So you might not need as many lemons, but either way, we're gonna let them cool for a minute. But while that's happening, we're gotta take half a cup of water here, put in my little saucepan. Then we're gonna take half a cup of honey. And then we're going to take half a cup of sugar. Then we're going to stir this, and we're going to get it to cooking. Get that sugar and that honey to melt with that water. Then once we get this done, then we're going to get our pitcher poured in there. By then our Lemons will be cooled down, so we'll squeeze that juice in there and we'll start adding water to flavor. Before you know it, it'll all be done. Well, there you have it, folks. We've got our tropical grilled pork chops with our mango salsa. We've got our cheesy macaroni and corn casserole. And we've got our pork loin salad and our grilled lemonade. And this is how you finish. We've taken those lemons, squeezed the juice in there. And we did our honey sugar water syrup. We'll add that in there. Mix it a little bit, stir it, whatever you want to call it. Then we'll get water and finish filling her up. Just a little bit more. There's my, right there. And then you can take a lemon slice, a couple of lime slices, put them in there. Tell you what, can't beat it. It's ready to go. It's great. That's about it right there, folks. And well, you know, you got to taste that pork chop there. A little bit of that mango salsa in there. Mira. Woo! And as my dad was saying, mira, listo. Backyard Grilling with the Grill Master, brought to you by these proud sponsors.